now we have to have a come to Jesus meeting, you know, because I don't like having come to Jesus meetings, but we know they're going to happen. But it's like if we're talking to each other,
can cause miscommunication. But just, I think sometimes you look at things as sugarcoating that are not sugarcoating.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the August Love Story podcast. I'm your host, Tommy T, and my beautiful wife.
Your beautiful sleepy wife.
My beautiful sleepy wife, Artieka T. A-Town.
Stay down.
Look, I just looked at one of our old podcasts. I was like, how I used to bring this thing in. And then you was like, preferably A-Town.
That's what I write on a lot of stuff now. I was like,
look at you looking all cute and stuff saying that.
I do write A-Town on a lot of things because, I mean, it is.
Yeah, it is what it is. I don't write T-Town because, I don't know. I write Tommy T.
Right. Well, see, Artieka T is like, why would you say the T? Everybody knows Artieka. But if you just say the A, it could be like Ashley or Amber or April. You could be all these other names.
But it can't, though, because that's not your name.
Right.
Then they're not talking about you.
But that's what I'm saying.
They're talking about somebody else.
The A-Town.
They could be talking about Atlanta.
Exactly. And where does this A-Town live? Metro Atlanta.
What the song say?
Peace up, A-Town down.
Not Atlanta. Anyway, man, before we get started with the podcast, please like, share, and subscribe to the YouTube channel if you're listening to us on a podcast audio form. Just rate our podcast and let us know what your thoughts are. Today we're talking about communicating and the importance of communicating. Just talking with your person, right? Is so important in the relationship. So we're gonna dive into that a little bit. But before we do, what is our conversation starter for today?
What do you look forward to the most when you imagine our life in 25 years?
You want my honest answer or just a made up one?
Give me the honest answer.
The kids being grown. And like having a real, we can all go do this.
You know what? You went a step beyond what I said, but I was like, the kids not waking up all night. And I know that's going to happen before 25 years because Lily's not getting up all night. But, oh my God.
But in 25 years, they'll be
about to turn 26. And about to turn 29.
Right.
If you go from today that they're recording. Right.
So
let's just say 26, 29.
Yeah. So 26 and 29, they, they're grown at that, grown, or should be. Mm-hmm. And I mean, yeah. We should be able to say, hey, man, come by. I'm grilling today. Or,
Not that I want my kids to, have kids young. Yeah. Because I'm not that type of person to be like, I need a grandbaby. I would probably be talking to Quad about Cinco.
Mm-hmm. And that's something I probably never talked to him about.
Mm-hmm. No, I would just be like, if you have a boy, you going to name him Cinco? Yeah. Like, that would be my conversation.
Yeah.
I'd probably be like your grandmama, it's a boy. Oh, it's not.
Right. You can see the disappointment, but she really wasn't disappointed because it's a baby. But she was like, I really wanted the boy. No, but yeah, man, I that, and it's like you're almost thinking, I'm just fast forwarding through the other times, but I'm not, because I look forward to every day seeing it. Like, I'll be at work. I miss Lily too. Mm-hmm. I realized that yesterday. I was like, I miss my little girl. And no, but when I get off of work and get home, I look forward to seeing them.
I'm ready to fast forward to the point where she holds a conversation with you on the phone instead of calling you and then walking
and then
off.
just walk away. You're like, Lily, don't call me. I see you, but you ain't talking about nothing, man. But you know, that's what I look forward to.
Same. I look forward to my kids growing up and being productive members of society, as my cousin likes to call it.
I got another one too.
At that point, we will have been married for 32 years. Yes, my math is right. 32 years. That's not going to be one that's a big celebration, but being able to, we'll probably be encompassing birthday and anniversary celebrations, trying to figure those out. Because I also, in their adulthood, want to still do things with them.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll, be asking, can we go on your birthday trip? I'm not going to hang out with y'all, but I want to go.
Yeah.
Depending on where you go. If you go somewhere domestic, count me out. But like actually being able to do things with them, but also not sharing you with them, if that makes sense.
Yeah. I was going to say, man, just the traditions that we started just with us. I look forward to that because in 25 years, we've had 24, at that point, it'd be 32 years for us to perfect the thing that we like to do together. Mm-hmm. I look forward to the growth that we would have had, throughout those times. So, it's like you look forward to those things, but you don't want to miss the journey.
No, you don't. Although I'm sure if Lily's unyielding attitude doesn't change, I'm gonna be wanting to skip through her teenage years sometimes.
For sure, most definitely.
But she's a firecracker.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, man, it's nice to get to the end, but it's the journey that that you mostly look forward to, man. But
I just want to skip the journey of waking up all night.
Yeah, I can understand that.
Anywho, you go ahead.
That's neither here nor there. I think that's a funny statement. Neither here nor there. So to kind of like bring us back, when you ask people, hey, what has kept you guys together and blase this and blase that, like what's the secret? Well, the secret is communicating. Talking with each other, bless you.
Thank you.
Talking with each other and getting a understanding of where the person is coming from and growing in that understanding. And not just communicating about the good things. It's also communicating about the bad things, the things that you don't like, the things you do like, the things that aren't appealing, the things that need to change. Like, it's a joke, right? Mm-hmm. Or a thing that people be like, oh, don't say that. But I think just thinking about it from this side of the mirror is the question of, do I look fat in this? I think you got to approach that question with an appropriate answer, but you have to be truthful.
I would never ask that question.
Yeah, I would advise you not to ask me that question because I'm gonna tell you the truth, but I'm gonna say it in a way that's not.
You're gonna say it. Yeah, I don't worry that.
Yeah, right.
But I think that. Does this make me look fat or do I look fat in this? However it's worded as the overall reaching phrase. Yeah. I think that you have to customize that for the person that you're talking to.
You definitely do.
And that's the communication piece. Mm-hmm. I remember a time where you were trying to ask a family member a question and you were just so direct in the question that they got offended. And I was like, you could have just asked that like 3 other ways and all the offense would have been gone from the conversation. But
I'm going to tell you right now, I have no clue what you're talking about.
I know. And I don't even remember what you asked them, but I remember the conversation surrounding it. Yeah. It was probably like 5-6 years ago. So it's been a while.
Yeah.
But I remember like saying, you could have just asked like this and they would have answered. And I turned around and I asked the exact same way that I told you should have asked. And there was no offense. And the answer was out there. I was like, it's literally like you could have asked me the question the way that you asked it. But that particular person, for lack of better words, needed some hand holding. Yeah. And they needed you to bring the question down 1,000. Yeah. So it would be like, instead of saying, does this dress make me look fat? It would be like, hey, you think I should get this in a bigger size? Mm-hmm. Just changing the question instead of asking the wrong question to the person. I was trying to figure that out.
That's the thing that I struggle with early on is being like how to ask the question or how to communicate. Just because it's like, one, you're not thinking about it, right? You're not thinking about, like when we first started talking to each other, I'm not thinking about how I communicate with you. I'm just trying to enjoy your company as much as I possibly can, because when is this going to stop?
But I also think in the beginning, you're very, you're much more careful with your words with people. And I say that you're much more, not you particularly, but
I get you.
You're much more careful with your words with people, because in the back of your mind, you're always like, I don't want to offend. I don't want this to end. Mm-hmm. But somebody you've been knowing your whole life, or somebody that you've been knowing 10, 15 years, even take your best friend. The way that you would ask him a question is totally different than you would ask just like the guy a few doors down. Yeah. Like it would be different questions. Right. Even if you're asking the same question, you would ask them differently.
Yeah. And it's like why it's so, like I understand now why so many people be like, communication is the key to a long relationship. It's because that's the barrier. That's how you understand where your partner is coming from. That's how you understand what's going on with your partner. And a lot of times it's things that you never would have even thought of. Like, you know, you never would have thought to be like, oh, okay, this could bother her or him or, you know, or something like that. But it's, you know, it's crazy that how much you don't think about it in the beginning. But then when, like for me, it's not until I see that we are going through something, or it's not until I notice that, hey, we hadn't done this, we hadn't touched each other. Like that was the thing the other day when we was talking. I was like, we ain't touched each other in a minute. And not touched each other in a sexual way, but just touch.
I used to, and I think you're the one that started this conversation, but it used to be a time where it would be like, you're having a bad day, give me a hug. Yeah. Or just come downstairs and be like, can I have a hug? But that's also when you was working more remote.
Right.
Than you are now. Now it's just like when you come in the house, I'm like, take this baby so I can work in peace.
Right.
Because usually in the evenings I cannot work in peace.
Yeah. But yeah, so it's seeing that, you know, for me it was like, dang, we ain't touched it a minute. But telling you, hey, I just need to feel you, you know, not in a sexual way, but I just My body needs to touch your body.
Like Lily, hand, hold my hand.
You know, and not just for a split second, but I need to connect with you on that level. And it's like a recharging of a battery, you know, for the relationship, just because it's a simple gesture. You know, it doesn't have to be like 10 minutes. We're just on top of each other, but it's we have a moment to be next to each other.
You're also dramatic because you be like, we haven't touched each other. I'll be like, we just was on the couch watching a movie.
But we didn't touch each other. Like, like it's even communicating about sex, man. You know, when you realize like, hey, we ain't had sex in a minute, you know, you speak up and man, we can have sex, you know, but just being on that same wavelength, these are things that's needed in our relationship to make sure that we're still in a relationship in 25 years. You know what I'm saying? But just that, those are things that I'm not thinking about at 25 or 26 when me and you first started talking. I'm not thinking about, oh, I got to communicate with her about everything. You know what I'm saying? So it's now at 36, damn.
I can't say anything because I am officially the same age as you.
Yeah. At 36, I'm looking at it like, okay, how do I keep this train moving? Because without the sex, without the touching, without us like just literally talking about anything, that's why I enjoy the podcast. I enjoy the coffee break. I enjoy when we review Married at First Sight because, yeah, we talk outside of that about different things, but then that's a time where I can literally just sit down. It's spaced out for just me and you to talk, you know, and that's what I enjoy, you know, and it's a lot of times I can be more truthful in our conversations, not private or public conversations, but it allows me to understand how you like to talk. You know, it allows me to understand how to better my conversation because I'm having a conversation about something like I'm never thinking about, oh, I need to know how to communicate with her or I need to tell her this is what I need her to do in communication. It's something that if you ask, I'll tell you, but it's something that I'm just going to, by example, I'm going to talk to you the way that I wouldn't mind you talking to me. And the only way that I curve it or specify it to you is how you tell me to customize it to you. So if I'm cursing and you be like, don't cuss at me, I won't cuss at you. You know what I'm saying? I say my bad and stop cussing. Like I'm working on my conversation and curse words. How much? You know, like I try my best not to cuss on the podcast. Try my best not to say the N-word. But sometimes it just comes out. Like the N-word is like,
I'm not even laughing at that. I'm laughing about the day that Qua was over here during the coffee break and then he took off towards the stairs.
Yeah.
And you got up and cussed. And somebody was like, I heard that.
Right. But it's like I try. Yeah, I curse. You know what I'm saying? And I'd say the N-word is a regular word in my vocabulary. But I try not to, just because I don't want my kids to grow up and that be in their vocabulary. You know what I'm saying? Like just freely.
Surprisingly, Lily's never said it.
Yeah, that did, like I'm
probably because I don't like say it as much as you do.
Yeah.
And she usually repeats after me, not necessarily. Which is
hilarious to me.
Not necessarily you.
Now, she repeats after me, but it's like never the bad words.
She repeats good words, bad words, and different words after me. It's like no matter what I say, she's like even on video chat lately, I was like, hey, Qua, come here. So he could see Lily. Yeah. And she's like, Qua, come here, baby. So it's just, it's crazy. I never thought about the true context when people are like, you have little eyes watching you, until Lily, like, her language started like flourishing.
Yeah.
Cause I was just like, oh my God, she is gonna repeat everything that I say.
Yeah.
And she literally tries to.
Yeah.
She be like,
but it's funny though, like off topic.
What was it?
Off topic. It's funny when you do it because it'd be like perfect scenario. Like it's quiet, nothing is moving, nothing is going, and then you just say this random one word. She'd be like, I'd be like, yeah, because it's one thing that I consciously do is the music that I listen to is the music that they listen to. You know, and sometimes I'm conscious about what the song is talking about, but I'm not gonna hide that from them. And again, it's not a sense of hiding. It's just a sense of, and I hate to say it this way, and people probably be like, that's terrible. But it's a sense of, you're gonna hear it anyway.
They listen to 90s and early 2000s R&B in the car with mommy.
I try to, you know, when I'm just listening to music around the house, I try to play not as bad songs.
I be like, baby, you want to hear Jodeci?
Right.
We used to listen to like the Encanto, or not Encanto, the Disney playlist, but they got to me really quickly. Man. My mama has her listening to this nursery rhyme CD. And my mom said Lily and Harold got in the car and was both singing.
Oh, really?
Because they was both like, I know this song. But like, yeah, in the car with mommy, it's like gospel music or 90s and early 2000s R&B. In the car with me by myself, I'm listening to Project Pat.
Look, in the car with me, today's rap songs.
Right.
But it's just lower.
They could be listening to the Migos or anything in the car with you.
A humana, humana, humana. A humana, humana, humana. Get. Man, but it's terrible. It is awful. But it's like,
sidebar. Some of these 90s R&B songs, though, I'd be like, that is risque. Next. Baby, can't be hearing about that.
Right.
You need to cover up what you trying to do.
Man. But it's like the expression, like, off topic again. This is thing about music that I like. But just at the reunion, trying to find music that basically you can
family
play.
Friendly.
Yeah. None of the current music was being able to, like, unless it's R&B, and you have to be kind of, you know, you got to look at that when it's R&B, or pop songs, and you know, I ain't trying to hear too many pop songs, and you know, it's just hard. But back to communicating, even us understanding how to communicate with us affects the children. Like we said, they see and do what we do, you know?
That is true. Because nowadays, if it doesn't have to be yelling, but if you talk in an excited voice, Lily be like, hey, you need to calm down.
She does.
And you like, but I'm not like upset or anything. She's like, calm down, mommy.
Yeah.
I'm just talking to dad and I'm passionate about what I'm talking about. Yeah. Like, it could be something as simple as us talking about an NBA trade. She'd be like, calm down.
Yeah. She like the teacher, calm down.
Yes. But she one of them, I'm going to turn off this light.
Yeah.
And I'm going to turn it back on and I'll wait.
Man, but yeah, just us understanding how we like to be communicated to and making it where we can express, because I struggled with expressing how I like to be communicated to, and what to communicate to me. Like it was a lot of times you'd be like, I'll be sitting there doing something. I could be reading something on my phone or playing a game or something like that. And you get so upset with me not paying attention to you. And my rebuttal to it would be, but I was doing something before you started talking. And so the fix that I came up with was, well, if she starts talking to you and you can pause the game. Or like what I do now is my headphones, which is so dope. I don't think you ever listen to them, but
I don't want to stick your wax in my ear.
I changed the things up. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. I think that that is so funny to me. Anyway, they have an aware thing on it. So most of the time I'm in quiet mode so I can, because I'm listening to it and trying to do something else. And if I hear that you're saying something, I can just tap the aware mode and cut it down a little bit and I can hear what you're saying. But it's okay, give her my attention. You know, that's what she wants. So give it to her. Pause what you're doing, stop what you're doing. And I don't do it every time just because, you know.
Because you spend a lot of time saying, knowing that you can't hear. Right. That frustrates me too.
Well, the is for me to be able to get time for me to be able to stop what I'm doing. But I understood, or for me, it was more so of, I don't want to hear this. You don't listen to me when I talk. And so it turns you off from wanting to talk to me because I never want you to feel like you can't talk to me about something. I always want you to feel like I can talk to him about anything. I can be losing a toe or like whatever. Something very embarrassing could be happening that you wouldn't want to tell somebody, but it's like, I know I can tell him, you know, and that goes into the importance of what we talk about is what we talk about. Like some things don't go out to others, you know. Because that helps with the trust aspect of a relationship. But just understanding that, man, I think that's one of the most important things. And I think that's what helps is being able to express, or being able to express and also being able to see the differences in the communication styles and what's needed from a partner in their communication style. I got you speechless. Speechless.
I was thinking you were going to continue another sentence.
Nah, that's what I had.
That's why I didn't interject.
I pew, 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 pulling it out. I shot my clip.
Anyway. Agreed. And back to like the point earlier, I think that one of the biggest issues that people have in communication, or at least that I have seen, is not knowing how to change your this always gets me. Yeah. How to change how you say it for who you're talking to. And I don't want to say it's code switching because it's not code switching, because what you would say to your mother is not how you would convey it to your uncle. It's not how you would convey it to your daughter. Even if you're trying to get the same message through to all three of these people, you would present it to them differently. So knowing your audience is a third, if not half of the battle. And once you get beyond that, it becomes increasingly easier to just say, hey, this is what I'm trying to get across. Let me figure out how to say it to this person and be able to ask qualifying questions to know that they got it.
Yeah. That was a thing that with my mom and my sister, I struggled with, because I didn't see why. You have to sugarcoat. I don't like sugarcoating things, because sugarcoating allows for miscommunication.
And I don't agree with that.
And the reason why I say that is because, like, it has happened.
I think that laying it on thick can cause miscommunication, but just I think sometimes you look at things as sugarcoating that are not sugarcoating.
If I gotta change my message just so you get the message, that's sugarcoating.
But I say that I think that the words that you say, are different, even between like just two people that you say things very directly to, me and your uncle, right?
Mm-hmm.
You can say very direct sentences to both of us, but you're going to word his differently than you'll word mine, even if you're trying to get us the exact same message.
Right.
That's all I mean. I don't mean that you have to like make it syrupy sweet, but what they say, bring it down 1,000.
But I like for the people that I've had to deal with, like my sister is super sensitive. Mm-hmm. Love my sister to death. But we had to sit down and I said, like...
Your sister's more sensitive than you. I don't think she's super sensitive. She's just more sensitive than you.
My sister was super sensitive.
Okay.
And I'll say it to her face.
Again, I don't think that she's super sensitive. I know she's more sensitive than you.
Yeah.
And that's the difference.
But like literally I had to sit down with my sister and say, what's up?
Mm-hmm.
Like it was a sense of, why do you feel the way you feel about me? And how do I fix it? Because like from the outside, people would think that like me and my sister hated each other. Mm-hmm. But from the inside, I was just like, it's something not clicking with us that is causing us to really be bothered.
Mm-hmm. Do you think that's fixed now after this conversation?
I think, yeah, like our relationship is a lot better. Mm-hmm. Like I don't really walk with a caution around her. Cause I used to be like, well, I'm gonna say, hey, and, you know, talk about the weather and then move on, you know, talk to somebody else. But now it's, we talk about certain things and stuff like that.
Mostly Linda.
Yeah. But no, it's you know, we talk about the kids and stuff and all those things, but it was rocky, but just being able to I've had to humble myself a lot just to be like, okay, what's wrong? Like I've had to do that a lot, and in having to do that, it's like, how do we get to this point? How do we avoid this point? And that's really all I'm trying to do is not go so far to not communicating to where now we have to have a come to Jesus meeting, you know, because I don't like having come to Jesus meetings, but we know they're going to happen. But it's like if we're talking to each other in the meantime, we'll never get there. And that's what happened with me and my sister. When I went off to school, I stopped talking to her because we went two different ways. But that's my sister, you know,
same mama and daddy,
right? So it's like me not having to talk, because like I think about the high school like people I used to hang out with. The ones that I stopped talking to is because it's not because I didn't like them or anything like that. And I'm excited because I get to see my classmates tomorrow and stuff like that. But the ones I get to talk to, or I talk to, I stopped talking to them. And it's because we went two separate ways. But it's not that I didn't like them or anything like that. It's just life hit them, life hit me. And, you know, it's always a thing of, what's up, dog? I ain't seen you in a minute. Woo-woo. You know, but that's it. See them for a day on Facebook. Oh, that's nice. They have a baby, you know, type what I need to type. But with my sister, it's different. With my wife, it's different. If I spent my life going on my own path, doing my own thing, and you're over here, you know, just over here doing your own thing, and never talk to you about it, we wouldn't last this long.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying? So it's just being able to be humble and say, okay, something's wrong and we need to fix it. How do we fix it? You know? And be willing to do that. Be willing to be the person to be humbled or whatnot. So, I'm gonna get off my high horse, man.
Okay.
I don't want to toot my own horn or anything. Talking about I'm a master communicator because I'm not. I'm probably the worst person in communicating.
It be rough.
It be tough, you know. I don't like writing emails. I got the AI to help me with that.
Stop it.
But anyway, you got anything else?
Nope.
Before we get out of here?
Mm-mm.
All right, man. What's our lyrics for this episode?
We were watching. I don't even want to talk about it because we ain't finished it. But it was talking about Megan Thee Stallion.
Yeah.
And I picked the song by Meg.
Oh, okay.
She said, I'm a rich N-word magnet, pretty with a fatty, 30-inch weave with the long eyelashes. Yes, I got a man if I don't like who asking. I don't stand outside because I'm too outstanding.
Well, all right.
That was from Girls in the Hood.
And I ain't even like that.
I like the beat because it's the original.
Yeah, I like the original more than I like that one. Anyway, you guys, thank you for listening to another episode of the August Love Story podcast. If you haven't already, please go subscribe to our YouTube channel. Follow us on Instagram and Facebook at August Love Story. Everything is at August Love Story, so check that out. If you're listening to us through audio on your platforms, just go give us a rating. 5 stars. Great conversation. Yeah, man, I enjoy these conversations that we're having, man. And just learning about communication and everything like that. So give us in the comments on the YouTube page, give us your communication styles and advice on communication because we're all in this thing together. It takes a village for a family. And if you are listening, you are part of the village. So let us know your thoughts and we love you guys and peace out.
Bye, y'all.